Hey, Miles Beckler here, milesbeckler.com, and in this video we're going to dig a little bit deeper into your niche, and the question we're answering here is, are you in the right niche? Now this is such an important component within your business because you got to be willing to build your business and you got to be focused on building your business for the long term. And if you get the niche part wrong from the get-go, you're never going to make it. You're never actually going to have the kind of motivation and the willpower to get over the hump and really get to the point where the kind of effort you're putting in is the 20% and the rewards you're receiving are 80% or greater. It's going to feel like work for way too long, and the odds are that you won't persevere. So the answer is getting in the right niche. Now, I've covered some videos that I'll link to in the description about how to choose your niche, right? But I want to give you 3 real-world examples from friends of mine to help you understand exactly what it takes and exactly how to choose and find the right niche for yourself. So first off, before we go too deep into this, if you're chasing the money and if you think that to make money online, you need to be in the make money niche because that's all the people making money online are in the make money niche, you've got it wrong. If you're chasing the dollar, if you're chasing money, and that's your ultimate goal, you really need to shift your perspective and you need to shift your priorities. Your priority should be of service. It should be to give of yourself. And the more that you give of yourself, the more you'll build an audience who know, like, and trust you. And that's actually when the money flows. I know it sounds counterintuitive, and it is counterintuitive, but I've been there, I've done it, I've failed at least 10 separate businesses, most of which I was chasing the money. I found my current niche of meditation, something I loved, something that helped me in my life, something I still do today, and something that I would do every day, whether it was my business or not. And that's how I knew I was in the right niche. It didn't line up that quick for me because I had to figure this all out myself, right? Like the first mouse that goes after the cheese on the mouse trap doesn't make it, and the second mouse gets the cheese, right? So I'm teaching you, I've set off a lot of mouse traps on my path, and that's what I'm teaching you here on the channel. All right, enough of that. Let's get into these stories. So 3 stories. First and foremost, there's the scratch your own itch idea, right? You can find the biggest problem that you have that's going to take you 3 to 5 years to solve and document your process as you go through solving this problem. So I have a friend named Johnny. Johnny had sold a business that he wasn't in love with. He made $60,000 from the sale of his business. Then his question and his big problem became, what do I do with this money? How do I invest this money? I don't know anything about investing. He was talking to a friend of his who was in a similar situation, and they decided to build a podcast based around that concept of what do we do with the money? So they started the Invest Like a Boss podcast, and they've been interviewing really smart people in the financial world and people who have been creating some of these financial services and financial apps like Wealthfront and Betterment, and using kind of AI technology built in with the investment side. And they literally interview the owners and founders of these companies, and they break it down into like normal person speak, right? It's not all jargon, because man, that world of investing and finance is really difficult to understand. And that's it. Now they have a growing podcast, a growing audience, a blog that gets traffic, they're building an email list, and they're making money promoting the different products that they're using. And all they're doing is really interviewing people so they can learn what they need to do with their money, and they're documenting the process. Bingo. This is a win. It's going to be a great long-term business for them. I don't even know if they've been doing it for a year at this point, but they've already grown a significant audience, and it's quite fantastic. So number 2 are friends of mine in New Zealand, Ben and Nicola. And Ben and Nicola run foreverfit.tv, which is an online gym. And he was a professional athlete. He's a professional rugby player. She was a personal trainer who was training the team. They met at a spin class that she was teaching and fell in love. Cutest story ever. They're like the best couple ever. And they're mastermind partners of Melanie and myself. So they've been running this online gym for a while, and it was working okay, but the challenge was it was very difficult for them to stand out in a crowded audience, right? Going at the online gym level or just being an online fitness person is extremely difficult because of how much competition there is out there. There's hundreds of thousands of people out there literally doing the exact same thing. So Nicola has had a love of horses all of her life, and she has a horse. And they just moved on to a new property where they're able to live with their horse. They have stalls and a barn, or I don't know what you call it. Like the horse lives there, right? There's a pasture, and it's a horse property with their house on it. So they've decided, and she loves dressage riding, which is a specific type of riding horse. So they've decided to create a new product that is a dressage rider training product that teaches fitness, something she's an expert in, to dressage riders, something she loves. This new product that they've launched it a couple of times now. It is absolutely crushing it. And what's happened is it is now easy for them to stand out as the foremost authority, at least one of the top 3 in the world at teaching fitness for dressage riding, flat out simply because there's no one else teaching it, right? There might be 1 or 2 competitors who have some old school like DVD and VHS courses, but they're taking their online skills they've learned through their online gym, and they're applying it to this deeper niche that intersects the love she has for horses and her expertise, which is in the fitness, and boom, they are absolutely crushing it with this business. And they stand to make, it's not only are they gonna make a ton of money, but they're doing something like they love every single day, and that is why it's working for them. And number 3, the final example here, to try to give you another real world example, is my neighbor. If you can hear the waves in the background, I'm actually at the beach here in New Zealand, which is where I'm staying for a bit, and I met the neighbor. And the neighbor, he's a cool old cat. He's been around living in this area on the beach pretty much for 20 years plus, and he loves surfing. Turns out he's created a book, and this is his book right here. It's the surfing guide to New Zealand, right? And I mean, this book is pretty amazing at how well it's laid out. When he said he made a book about surfing New Zealand, I was like, all right, dude, let me check it out. Thought it was gonna be like a stapled together pamphlet, to be honest. I had no idea it was such a cool, real resource. And I've been asking him a little bit about this. You know, first and foremost, he lives on the beach, he surfs every day that he can, and he absolutely loves his life. So that passion, what he loves, is the driving force. And I asked him, I was like, do you have design skills? Did you do the layout for this? Like, this is a massive project. There's a lot of design elements in this. He's like, oh no, mate, like, that's really difficult for me. But you know what? His love of surfing is so strong that he was willing to go through all of the challenges associated with putting together what feels like a 500-page book that's absolutely massive. And now he's selling these all over the world. He ships them mostly to North America. For him, the Kiwi dollar is low compared to the US dollar, so selling them in US dollars to the US is absolutely brilliant. And here he is, kind of in his retirement years. He's got an information product that he's created based on a passion of his. He's still surfing every day. I was out paddling yesterday, and he comes surfing by on a wave and gives me a big smile and a big wave. And it's awesome to see him living his passion, doing what he loves every day. And I mean, he's explored all the surf breaks in New Zealand. So what did he do? He documented the process of how you get to them, what to expect, what they look like at every single one, put it into a piece of information, and now he sells that. And that's just kind of a hobby he does that spits out cash flow on the side. And that's it. Those are the 3 real world examples. And you need to really dig deep, right? This is one of those self-actualization moments. I can't tell you if a niche is right for you because I don't know you well enough. You need to know yourself. What is that thing you would be doing whether you were building a business around it or not? For Johnny and the Invest Like a Boss team, he's gonna figure out investing one way or another. That's his biggest problem. He's going to figure it out so he can get the monies he made to work for him. Perfect. What about Nicola and Ben? Well, they're fitness freaks. I mean, they're not fitness freaks. They love fitness. They're passionate. So they're going to stay fit for the rest of their life. And I mean, they just bought a house that literally has like horse stalls and a pasture and an arena in the back. Like, she's going to be doing dressage riding with her horse for the rest of her life. She absolutely loves that. So she's just documenting the process and blending her expertise along with her passion. She would do it whether she was making money off of it or not. Neighbor dude who made the really cool book that I love, he'd be surfing no matter what. I mean, he's still surfing every single day. That's what he does. He explores new surf breaks. He goes back to the great ones that he's been a part of. He even started a website back in the day here that was like the surf line for New Zealand that he sold at one point in his life. It's amazing to see this kind of roll out and unfold in so many different ways. And for me, again, I meditate every day. I meditate first thing when I wake up. I meditate again in the afternoon, at least 2 times a day, some days 3 times a day. I would be doing that whether I built a business around meditation or not. I've just experienced significant benefits in my life through meditation. So that's what I share. Same with my wife. That's what we share. That's what we've built our business on. And it's because we love it is why we do it. And we would do it whether we had a business or not. So you got to ask yourself, if you weren't building a business in this topic, in this niche you've chosen, would you still be inspired to learn, to research, to kind of learn, do, and teach what it is that you're doing? If your answer is yes, I do this whether there was money in it or not, you're going down the right path. If your answer is no, I'm doing this for the money, I'm buying shit products from China for cheap to turn around and try to flip them on Amazon, and I hope that my drop shipping business makes money because I'm selling anything I can get my hands on. I don't care what it is as long as I can make a profit. If that's where you're at with this, you might have a day of reckoning coming, right? And you're going to have to at some point pivot into something that's more soulful, more heartfelt, and that really truly helps you get your message out to the world, because you have a unique message and it's hidden within your passions, within your expertise, within what you love to do. So uncover that, open it up, document it, send it out to the world, and you'll be amazed at what happens. Do what you love, be of service to your audience, and the money will follow. I can't stress that enough. I'm done, rambled for a while. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe here on YouTube. I have some amazing things I've been working on. That's why I haven't been posting videos as often. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up here in YouTube if you wouldn't mind. It does help get the reach out, and I would love to hear from you. If you're in a niche that you love, leave me a comment below. If you're in a niche that you don't love and you're trying to figure it out, leave me a comment below. I'll do my best to answer every single comment personally. And anytime I do answer a comment, that is me, that is not my virtual assistant. I'm happy to help where I can, and I do appreciate your time. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video.